Hello and welcome back to Magic in the Muck, a soul's compass for change. I'm Jennifer Nagel and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. I've been sitting with my conversation with Lisa from last week. Not just what we talked about, but what was underneath it. If you listened to that, and I hope you go back and do if you haven't listened to it yet, but I'm wondering if maybe you recognize something in yourself there. Not just the ideas of burnout or congruence or leadership, but the lived experience of all of it. The places where we're showing up, but maybe not fully there. I've really been thinking a lot about how burnout doesn't always look the way we expect it to. It's not always dramatic, and it's not always a breaking point. Sometimes it looks like functioning. And I'm speaking for myself here, too. Sometimes it looks like getting through your day and holding space for others, meeting expectations, keeping things moving. And at the same time, something inside has gone a little quieter, a little bit further away. And if I'm honest, which I am, I want to be honest in this podcast, this is something I notice in myself at times, even now in this season. There are moments when life feels really full, personally, professionally, and I can feel how easy it is to slip into just managing it all. Getting through the list. I love my lists and checking things off. Staying up a little later to finish one more thing, or a lot later to get one more thing done. And then noticing letting the walks outside, the fresh air, the pauses, quietly falling away. And then forgetting to respond to someone that I care about, not because I don't care, but my attention is just stretched too thin. From the outside, it still looks like I'm showing up. But on the inside, there is a subtle gap, a space between who I am and how I'm actually living in those moments. Even as I say that right now, I can feel it in my body. That slight pulling forward, the leaning into the next thing. Maybe you can feel something too. This is where congruence, not just the idea of congruence, but the experience of congruence becomes very real. Not as something to get right or something that we notice. It's the moment when you realize, I am here. And when we notice a disconnect between I'm here, but I'm not fully here. We're not in our congruence when we're experiencing that disconnect. And instead of pushing past that, we can pause. Let's try that just for a moment. In this moment right now, wherever you are, just noticing, is there any place in you that feels a little bit pulled or stretched? A little tightness? Or feeling like you're getting ahead of yourself? What happens if you just let yourself soften in this moment, just even slightly? Just taking a breath and softening. Nothing to fix in this moment, just allowing yourself to arrive. Because the truth is, the world will often reward the version of you that keeps going. I want to say that again so that it really lands. The world will often reward the version of you that keeps going. The one who gets things done, who holds it together, and who shows up no matter what. But that version of you isn't always the most alive version of you. And so the question becomes, what would it look like to begin returning to yourself in those moments? Not perfectly and not all at once, but in soft, small, honest ways. Choosing to pause instead of push. Even as I'm recording this episode, as I hear myself choosing to pause instead of push, I notice my voice slowing and allowing myself to pause in this moment. Allowing yourself to step outside instead of staring and staying at the screen. Acknowledging what's actually happening inside instead of brushing past it. This is really at the heart of what Lisa Catallo and I were speaking about in last episode. Not just burnout or messiness, but what lies underneath it. And the possibility of living and leading from a place that feels more aligned, more honest, more authentic, and more fully you. Not because you figured it all out. And not because you're willing to stay in relationship with yourself along the way. This is the space that we're beginning to create through congruent practice. And also through the retreats and the programs that we're offering. Spaces where you don't have to hold it all together. Where we can actually listen to what's been quiet inside of us and begin to reconnect. And if something in you is stirring as you hear this, that's worth paying attention to. So I want to leave you with this. Where in your life are you still showing up, but not fully there? And what is one small way that you could begin to close that gap this week? There's so much wisdom in the moment you notice. That is where the shift begins. And that is where you begin, coming home to yourself. And somewhere in that return, you might just find a little more magic in the muck. I want to thank you for being here with me today and being on this journey together with me. We are not alone in this. Until next time, take care. Thank you for being here with me on Magic in the Muck. If today stirred something in you and you're ready to walk this path more deeply, I invite you to join the Soul Compass Circle, a journey of reflection, connection, and soul-aligned living. You don't have to do this alone. Just visit the link in the show notes to step into the circle. I look forward to meeting you there.
I'm Michelle Abraham, founder of the High Vibe Podcast Network, and we're honored to have Jennifer Nagel's show Magic in the Muck as part of our network family. For more inspiring shows like this one, visit highvibepodcastnetwork.com, and don't forget to grab your free gifts from our hosts in the gift vault. Stay high vibe and keep sharing your light.